Good day and salutations, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Togetherwerole, episode 15.
15, part one.
Part one, you're getting a lot of laces there.
No.
Wow, that means we're almost 30 episodes into this.
Well,
Wow.
we've been playing a long time, because remember, this is a season 2 that kind of just surprise season ending and then restarting.
It's a sequel. It's still continuing. It's just broken. It's a splintered path.
Splintered Path is a good way. And
Someone shot it with a
and
blunderbuss.
So how many episodes do we have on season?
Well, if this is episode 15, remember, we do a part 1, part 2 typically. Unless we have a very long game, we'll do a part 3, which we've done in the past.
It's like a 6 hour, 10 hour session.
So for every session, that would be, we're at 30, coming up on 30. This would be 24 plus episodes, 20. Help, it's math. We'll be at 30 episodes after we get these two up.
Give or take.
Talking, I forgot to get the name of someone.
Okay.
Keep talking, keep going, you're doing
That's
good.
right.
There's this bear and a rabbit, and they're both taking a crap in the
Sorry. Okay, so let me, anyway.
Punchline is wrong.
It is our opportunity here to share about Corinne Milne, who does our character art, and so we've got Vedic here in line drawing, because he's...
You had to read that off the screen, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Anyway, I got it.
And Niquis, of course, our color headshots done. So, anyway, thank you very much.
Oh, and we got the miniature for our little golden friend here.
Hey,
We can throw that right up there. There you go. Keep going.
And I have to do a quick shout out. I haven't been able to say anything until now because I haven't had a permission slip of saying that he wants a shout out. A lot of my miniatures I've been just building up lately, like the Rock and the Kraken that has never seen the light of day yet.
You can see the big
stuff
shelf
like
in the back.
this right here. It's all by a man by RPG Elements. You can find him on Etsy, and he does a lot of work there, and he repaints a lot of the miniatures that are already built, and he puts them on new bases and repaints them to make them look even more epic. He's a great guy. Go check him out, because I keep buying more and more of his just strange and...
You realize if you are successful, it will be harder for you to get miniatures.
I know! I know!
Like there's sort of a
It's a counterintuitive thing, but still, I spread
earned it.
you know?
Link in the description below.
I recently just bought an Execution,
Hey, I gotta put that on.
Executioner's pack from him, and it's just... I love it. I didn't know I needed it until I saw it. Anyway, he's awesome. Go check him out. Apart from that, I think it's time to go back to the introductions.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah, see you in a moment, everyone.
Woohoo!
And welcome back, everyone. Let's get to it. Let's get back into the game session, because we're going to be taking a small break in reality, actually.
Oh, well, they won't notice. Because we produce content every single week for you guys and gals out there. And, oh, yes, thank you.
Right next to the microphone, too. So
I was covering. I'm trying.
that doesn't work.
There's no way for me to do this right.
Anyway,
Actually,
ran out of time.
back to it.
Actually, I think we didn't blow out the ears of our team, because I do have limiters. And
The Silver Menagerie.
Woohoo! Last time on our
Found
temperatures.
this hidden city of the Forge, Hart Kern, and the Council of Temper Thought. Bringing to them tales that the outside world is about to find them and about to kick their door in. And at the same time, bringing in a pocket reactor known as the Ark of Cogs, with a small little city-side discussion.
Small.
You were interviewed, discussed, and decided to be led into the city and given a job to open up the Ark of Cogs for a price. You did so, and gave a tome of Titans, finding that inside. You went to have various payments that were outside of coin, and talked to the old one, an ancient bronze dragon. I always mess that up. Bronze dragon that had less than patient discussion inquiry, so to speak.
That's a word for it.
Kind of forcing you into a corner, causing some strife amongst the group. And then the city was attacked, assailed by the Velocian Empire itself, sending in 9 ships. 9, yes.
It was 9, yes.
Yes. Double checking my math here.
9!
9!
9!
As clay golems and soldiers alike jumped and fell from the ships above, from the sky ships, as Titans went into the water and took or dispatched the 3 war vessels that were following the river, seemingly trying to find the location that was following you as the group. You jumped onto the ship, declaring this ship is yours, right before you blew it up. During the crash of this skyship, you were separated, scattered everywhere like confetti. You handled what you could and what you saw, as the city was still under attack and you could not properly assess the situation, so you reacted. But unfortunately, this reaction gave apt amount of time for Drake to be hunted, apprehended, and kidnapped.
Fuckers.
Drake no more, a small little kobold declared himself part of the party member, ready for an adventure, and gave you guys a little bit of choice on where to go next. He also claims to be 900 years old and mess around with time.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
He's a poet and he didn't even
You
know it.
found the diplomats inside the city. One of you did, had a conversation by yourself, also causing a bit of a concern with one of the party members. Going back and striking a deal, some monetary value, some other value, to take these strange magical paintings that can be used as makeshift teleportation circles. And you took one to the Desert of Teeth. Had to find the right one. As the painting turned from a lush forest, of vibrant green trees and amped life, as the painting now first used for whoever knows how long it's been created. You travel to the other side as the painting shifts and turns to ash and golden sands, scorching yourself initially as you're now ankle knee deep. As winds start to gather up and the temperature shifts as your sight sees nothing but dark, rolling, almost like frozen waves of golden dunes. With the correction of it was not daytime, because you got it early and on the global shift and everything, and since you traveled a hell amount of time.
Oh, no, distance.
Distance, correct. It's actually still nightfall. And since you got up like 2 hours before sunrise is what we were discussing or something like that?
Sure.
Don't
Sure.
know. Don't remember.
Let me point out exactly how far exactly we went, just so for those of you who are catching up. So that little there's a golden spot actually. Where's mine?
Forget it, I got it.
Right here. That's where we were.
Reflective!
There's a key's way down here.
That's the size of the United States, right? It's like
Let's keep an idea.
2,000 miles.
Let's remember that
To
volcano
more than 2,000 miles, and depending
Right
on
here.
where you are in the desert heat, you're not quite sure.
right here to right here. That little space took us a week on an airship. A week.
I mean,
Is the
it
size-
didn't, but
So we have now
Well, it
traveled.
didn't, but
Well,
yeah.
the time that we were on the airship.
The one trick is we have no clue where we are in the desert teeth.
It is still nightfall, and it's actually surprisingly cold here, but thanks to your enchanted clothing,
It's a big area.
you don't have to worry about that.
Comfortable.
Pretty much the entirety of the entirety of any of the kingdoms is what we had to search for.
You know, I'm glad you've set up your bubble.
Bubble.
Is that what you call it? A bubble?
It's a forced dough.
Because the sand was getting in my eyes, even though I have got this cloak or this clothing that
Oh, I can see how that would be an issue.
it's more than a cloak. It's more of a it's.
Does anyone know how to figure out where we are? Because we kind of need a direction.
That we do. Well, we're not even sure what we're here to look for. Niquis, do you happen to know what we're here for? We've traveled a long way to for you to find something to do with one of your. Is it your ancestry? Is it your? I do not want to offend. I'm just inquiring, and let me know if you wish to tell us or not.
I was told to follow the midnight dancing lights and look for ruins to find someone.
Look for ruins. I want to take a look at the sky.
The midnight dancing lights.
Look at the horizon.
Well, I don't think it's quite midnight yet. Here, it's probably getting close to morning, right?
What time is it?
It is roughly about 4 in the morning.
Right. Like Miss Midnight.
I don't need you. I figured that out.
Is that updated automatically?
It's a lucky guess, is what it is, actually.
Is it updated automatically?
Orb of time? Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It literally just tells you. Make a perception check.
Oh, yay, my specialty. Not. It is when I roll like that.
Ooh.
Is that to everyone or just him?
It's going to be an 18.
If you're looking, go right ahead. You can roll a perception check if you're looking into the sky.
It'll be an 18. 1-8.
18?
Yep.
It's pretty dark up there. Clear sky, actually. Slight light at the north. Probably the sun coming up.
To the north?
You're too intelligent for that. Yeah, there's... It's not bright. Definitely on the horizon is way out there. Oh yeah, just tiny little speck.
Anyone have a compass?
No, it's the one thing I don't have with me, actually. Is a compass. Or
Time, not space. Sorry.
That way is north, right?
Are you sure that's north?
I think. And moon?
Make a survival check. There's a moon in the sky. 2 of them.
Not doing too bad, actually. Oh, never mind. Survival's a wisdom thing, so that's 12.
Yes, most definitely north.
I'm going
that's
to
north.
do I'm going to second guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Pretty sure that's north.
Press F to doubt.
This is what check?
Survival.
Survival.
Yes.
Oh, good. Whew.
Yes, that's definitely north.
16.
16? Yeah, north and northeast.
Well,
It's not direct north, but it's in the northeast.
In our world here, are we used to having the sun rise in the east, set in the west, kind of thing?
For simplicity standards, yes, for
All right.
God's sake.
Well, I would agree with you. It's somewhat north. I'm not sure if it's true north, but it can't be the sunrise because
Much too early.
that's not necessarily. It's just too far. It's too far north to be the sun.
Well, we want to be moving during the night, right?
That was the recommendation.
Well, are we prepared? Shall we? You put up your bubble, but can you put it up again at any time?
Anytime you want.
Okay.
Excellent.
Splendid.
Excellent.
I don't need a lift.
You
You
don't?
might sink in the sand.
Who are you talking to? Walk like four steps, sink to the horns, and just take down sand. I may have been wrong. The sand just sort of flows out of the pant legs.
On the shoulders.
Your feet should hold you up, though. You're not that heavy. No? All right. Well, I'm gonna give it a go. We found the other painting, didn't we? You rolled it up and put it away. You put it away in your is it a special bag of holding? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. She is the one that's holding the other side of the painting. Yeah.
All right. Let's follow the light. We only have a few hours of travel before we're going to need to.
You know, I have known many
With
people.
your passive perception, Nicholas, you're being cold.
And what?
You're stone.
I'm being called. Okay.
Would you like them to hear it, or no?
No.
Everyone, go to the patio, please.
All right.
Get a.
Outside we
We're
go.
ejected.
Yep. And close the door all the way. I
Yes,
will know
we
if
will.
it is.
Up we go. All
You're
right.
enjoying this.
I didn't want to play this game anyway.
It's terrible.
As they're having their conversation, you kind of step back and activate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A familiar voice. A voice that you've grew up, been with a long time.
Is it aeronaut?
Aeronaut. I paused for a moment, like,
All good.
I can't mess up this name. Aeronaut. Speaking in short phrases because of the limitation of the 25 words.
Mm-hmm.
He comes across storage, unusual goblin, soul complete. Concern.
I cannot understand you through the accent.
Storage, unusual goblin, soul completed.
Okay.
Concern. Abundant eyes on lab. Many upper gossips. Your mission. Debate between Lord, Master, on permission back. Mission must please.
What was after many eyes on lab?
Many eyes on lab. Abundant eyes on lab. Many upper gossips. Your mission.
Okay.
And the last part, debate between Lord, pause, Master, on permission back. Mission must please.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to respond.
Can do.
Lord or Master support for me, like as a question. So asking which one.
Master. Support.
Okay.
Other nobility or lower. Uncertain.
Okay. And why has attention increased?
There's a long pause. Uncertain. Hush whispers, nothing more.
Investigate with caution.
Yes, mistress. And the call drops.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go tell him to come back in, unless you want to do anything else.
Nope.
Okay.
We return.
You return! I might have to get a bell to let you know when we come back in.
Just intercom. Players to the table. All players to the table.
So, continuing towards this strange beat of light, I'm assuming? Or are you going, like, which direction?
Towards it.
Okay.
Following the dunes as much as possible.
Yes, I'd like to. Does it look like it is static, or is it sitting on the ground level? Is it
Make a perception check. It is far out there, and it's near the horizon level. Most likely because of the distance, it's
19?
19? Uncertain. With your naked eye, you just notice that there's a... You want to say fluctuation, but slightly constant. And it's definitely not white light. It's a dull shade of something, but you can't quite tell from this
It might be a
distance.
fire or something that is. But what does the air temperature feel like right now? Even though it's
Okay.
fairly, you said it's fairly cold, right?
It's fairly cold right now because
Okay.
deserts, they get very cold at night and then very hot in the day. And you notice that there is a humidity level rising. And with that same perception check, you notice there are small insects going to the tops of dunes and just kind of meandering near the top of the dunes.
Almost like they are. I wonder if they're collecting moisture off the top of the dunes.
Hard to say.
Do we want to walk with the bugs, or do we want them on the bottom of the dunes or top of the dunes?
I don't care about bugs too much.
We can see more at the top of the dunes.
I think the top of the dunes.
How big are these bugs? Are they crunchy?
Make a general dex check to try to catch one. Because as soon as you get within like a area of it, they kind of scurry into the dirt. Sand.
General dex check?
Yeah.
+2, so 20, modified 20.
Modified 20. It takes you a few seconds, but you get a handful of dirt and you just kind of let it shift out and you feel something wiggling on the inside. And you check it and it's a hard black beetle.
Scarab.
Scarab.
I brush past you, very focused on what I'm thinking about, and just kind of start taking off along the top of the dune.
Well, she's not doing that. It was so good.
Quite juicy, in fact.
Juicy in the
I'm standing there going, but it's a crunch. Script out of my hand. You realize you need to catch another one. She likes crunchy things.
Who doesn't?
I like crunchy things as well. But I was trying to give a gift to Niquis.
Just pulling ahead of them.
Keep walking. Let's
It's
wrap it up.
walk behind you like mage hand to try and catch the bugs.
It takes a good handful of minutes, but they are very abundant at this time. And it's not just bugs, as you see snakes, but as soon as you get within a general vicinity of these things, and they don't seem to be attacking each other. They all seem to be collectively moving up to the tips of the domes and seemingly being prepared for something. And as you guys are traveling, you two, with your heavy, heavy bodies, it is difficult to move in this type of condition and then some.
The PSI on our feet is way too high to stand on the top of these dunes.
At first, it's like, okay, I can manage this, and then it turns into general frustration of how difficult it is just to travel the same amount of feet that you would in a normal time.
It's Niquis, you need to slow down. Niquis, slow.
She's an elf.
We're trying. We can't keep up. We're trying to.
And just kind of stop, wait for them to catch up, walk ahead, stop, wait for them to catch up. Just.
Something on your mind.
Yes.
Care to share?
No.
All right. Want a bug?
No.
She never turns down crunchy bugs. She never turns down crunchy bugs.
Like he's holding his hands like this, and there's a pair of glowing little dragon claws that have got a bug in them, and he's like, I got one. Now what?
She doesn't want it apparently.
No.
What? She didn't say that I didn't want it.
It's not like we have much else to do while we're walking.
And I guess crawling might be faster.
It's fine for me. I don't get tired. So
Yes.
it's just
You thought you were having
fun.
trouble walking in the sand.
Actually, he's quite light.
I know. He thought he had trouble walking in the sand. This is
I mean,
I figured
he
that-
does have the 3-leg thing going on
Right. Tail.
with his little cane.
yes, and a tail. So, and
Although I've got the Grimstalker with me, you could be riding on the weirdo centipede.
Yeah.
wonder if that
Looking at the Grimstalker is leaving like almost like a circular trail behind it. It's walking just fine, but its legs still are points, so it's sinking a tiny bit, but it's still light enough that it doesn't have much trouble with the amount of legs that it has. Which it just kind of looks like a Roomba at this point. Going across the desert.
Death
Death Roomba.
Comb the desert! I mean it! Comb the desert!
I haven't found shit.
I didn't want to do it either.
You think we're taking this too little?
No, you fool. We're following orders.
All right. Continue trudging forward, and
You are in the desert. And to say that the scenery is simple and simplistic is an understatement. There's not much to look at, especially during nightfall, especially with limited dark vision. Make a perception check for both of you.
me and
You, for Ek and Niquis, real quick.
Okay, my perception is fuck all.
I will be re-rolling that.
Sorcerer.
17.
Okay.
Oh god. All the papers.
All the pages.
That. 24.
24. You do not notice this, Ek. But Niquis, with your very keen sense of how the distance is with your dark vision, you start measuring a little bit, especially since now you've been walking the dunes a little bit to see how big these things are. Not to the extent that is to your home plane, but your dark vision is surpassing 120 feet.
Okay. Cool.
And with that high perception, you start looking up, starting to see, even though the light of the sun is starting to diffuse it, you're starting to see like almost like fluctuation of the mana. As transparent lines of what looks to be blues and hues of purple, like almost like they were roaring lights, but more consistent. As you see a ley line directly above you that seems to be going towards the direction, in a river fashion, that way. Player-wise, because I don't want to speak too much, how much do you know about ley lines?
Everything is intuitive. She don't know shit.
Okay. Roll a history check.
I'm gonna reroll that.
Okay.
Gosh,
Well,
that's more powerful than luck.
19.
19. Okay. Generic information about the ley lines is usually where think of them as magical arcane highways for magical energies, mana, spiritual essences to pass through the world. They are highways of magic. And usually when one is directly over a spot or a location, depending on which plane of existence that they're more associated to, some might be one, some might be multiple, it might have some enhanced effects on certain abilities of people. For 19, that's all you get.
Okay.
So this increase of your dark vision is most likely due to a influx of magical energies being under the ley line.
Okay. Hey, does that look like dancing lights to you? Like, are we?
I'm looking up.
Takes a little bit, but you start to see it.
Is this in the direction we're walking?
The thing we're following.
Or wait, is it in the direction?
It's
we're
not like a
walking?
beeline, but it kind of meanders that direction.
And what am I looking? What am I seeing here?
That's a ley line, but people tend to be florid, particularly the Fae, when describing directions. And sense midnight dancing lights, and that's fading with the light, and it's enhancing my ability to see in the dark. That seems like maybe that's where we're supposed to go.
Up.
Follow.
Follow. I'll go. So
And
Mitch is right. Okay.
And coincidentally, is this the same direction, similar to the direction
It's
of the lights?
meandering that direction. It's not like a
Alright.
straight line
Oh,
that
got
goes
it,
that
got
way.
it.
It's like a river, like the Horon
Okay.
lights. Auroran lights.
All right, so it's
Aurora
in the
Borealis.
25% range of the direction we're going.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It's in the direction.
It's in the general direction. All right.
Right,
Good.
but there's dunes and stuff that block our line of sight, and we're looking for a set of ruins. And if we're supposed to be following that, then we should probably follow the path. That way we don't miss the ruins that could be off to a side.
I mean, I could climb up and
Well,
go around and take a look
let's
around.
Stay on the top of the ruins.
You would have to
Or
just keep
top of the-
doing that
top
every
of the dunes.
What's your height, by the way? This is just a comical effect. What's your height?
like 6'1" in boots.
You are pretty much head height with Sparks right now.
Yeah, because I'm about knees into the sand.
True, but I imagine we're not. If this is, we don't have to be literally underneath it. We could be 50 feet off to one side and still be just fine. If it was to be on top of a dune, I think we'd be able
It
to
might
see
not be
better.
on top of a dune. It might be like
Could also be
buried
on-
in the sand.
Could also be
It's
under the dune.
ruins in a desert.
True, that is true.
Right.
That is
Bonus
true.
points goes to Niquis.
Could be underneath the dune.
question.
Could be underneath us right now.
Do you have any idea what these bugs are trying to do? Why they're coming up to the top of the dunes?
Do I look like I live in a desert?
Might have something to do with the ley line.
Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems odd. Do you happen to know?
It's Faye.
Oh, he's just drawn like he's long since wandered off. He's drawing little shapes in the sand with his staff.
Do you happen to know what these bugs, why they might be coming up to the top of the dunes?
Do you want to know?
Yes. I'd like to know. Do you happen to know why they're coming up to the top of the dunes?
No, I have no idea why.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Why did you ask?
Well,
Something mysteries of time. Something ruining
Something.
experiences
I've
with
forgotten
knowledge.
what I'm writing about, so I'm
Something,
just
something.
writing random bullshit now.
so we're supposed to follow the dancing lights and then look for the ruins. Very good. Let's follow it as specifically as we can. We're almost out of darkness, though, right?
It's about an hour or two before sunlight.
So let's keep
For an hour or
marching
two.
ahead. Let's keep marching ahead. And all right, fine. If it means going down the dunes to follow it, let's do that.
Well, that could work. I got some. moving
Down's
rods.
easier than up, though.
I can up in a movable rod, so I'll just climb up.
None of it's particularly hard.
You're not moving fast at all with the rods.
You're moving at half speed. Both of you are,
Yeah.
And I
because of difficult
can use
terrain.
my full action to make it normal.
Well, of course. And you can do so too, but you might suffer exhaustion for
Yeah.
exerting yourself.
Yeah.
You are light enough to not worry about it. You are light enough if you want to do story-wise, but your cane is utterly wasted here.
Oh, I figured like put a book down, like toboggan myself down down one into the slides. Wait, making little like sand angels while you guys come down the hill.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
That's different.
Random con save in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Very good thing. It's like when the DM rolls his dice behind the screen when you're not doing anything. Really freaks you out.
11.
11? Okay.
Anyone need water?
Spell your name again. I'm bad at spelling your name.
Veddick.
Vidic.
I desperately want it to have been for how much sand went up your nose.
Yes, I could use some water.
You can't around this water.
Oh, I thought you just sprayed him in the face.
No. Doesn't need it, guys. You can drink it. Quick ribbon.
Refreshing. I'll say
Right,
at the end of the
we-
2 hours,
We do have our clothing.
the sun starts to go over the... Actually, before the sun goes over the horizon, you notice that there's a thick mist that kind of gathers and pools from not even a cloud layer, but a few hundred feet above, just kind of comes down to your level as it becomes very humid fast.
Why is it getting so humid here?
Temperature.
Is it a cold mist? Or is it,
I wouldn't say cold, but it's definitely humid.
but is it warm water?
Are we camping? Is this where we're camping for the day?
I'm good to camp.
But just hold on. Don't wait for it. It's not time yet.
Do it.
It's not time
I
yet.
see what you did there.
Do it.
Go on.
I want to know about this mist. This is really odd in a desert. Why is there so much moisture in a
Roll
desert?
survival.
Could be an oasis? No.
No.
And while Ek is sitting there pondering to himself, Veddick goes by. And like, if there was a camera, you would just see the top of his horns and the staff as he's drawing.
This is weird, man.
He's
This
drawing a
really
big
doesn't
circle,
make
like a big 10-foot circle around everybody in the sand.
By the way,
The funny thing is, I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
The circle that you got is a 20-foot radius circle.
Oh, it's okay. So big,
and-
big circle.
Yeah, in your head, it feels that big, but as soon as these big chungos get inside, it turns
it's
into.
really to scale. It's only this big around. You had this out.
You have
A
the,
20-foot radius circle is huge.
yeah, but it's only 10-foot radius.
20-foot
What
diameter.
you got out,
What the template you
yeah,
pulled
the
out
template you got was the wrong one.
was
yeah.
not a rate.
That's the one we're looking at.
Yeah.
This is
That's
rad.
much better.
Yeah, there you go.
For a
So,
football, it's huge.
for you, it's huge, but for everyone else, it's like fat asses.
We barely fit.
Yeah.
Comfortably will fit.
Yeah, you have no idea, but the mist doesn't last long. Maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then it quickly burns away as the bubble and the sun comes over the dune horizon.
Did it seem magical at all?
Or Arcana. Or Survival. Either one.
I'm fairly certain there's no difference between them for me. $11.
11? At least for the spot you're at. Because it did kind of blind most of the scene distance around you. But you're aware. Carlos, that, as far as you can tell, seems pretty natural. Probably due to having humidity kind of gather up in the cold night and then being forced down by the hot weather patterns and it burns away.
Material plane nonsense.
A golden shimmering hemisphere appears. He sticks his head through it because it's very pleasant in here.
Can you move me inside, please?
As the beginning rays of the day start to hit your flesh, it's hot.
Into the bubble.
It's hot, even though we have our clothing on. It's not. We can still feel the fact that it's oppressively hot.
Oh yeah. Because there are certain parts of the skin that are exposed and everything.
Which is the.
Does it count as darkness in it?
It looks rather
Can.
odd that we are wearing.
Will for me.
Winter full. Looks rather odd that we're wearing. These big
this thing is like
winter furs.
overpowered in 5e.
It really is.
It
Well,
really
I'm.
is.
If it counts as darkness, then the plant can stretch its tentacles. But if it doesn't, then he needs to
Yeah,
stay in his thing.
it's dark
Wait
inside.
a minute.
It's completely obscure.
We are not having that plant stretch its tentacles inside a small.
It's okay. I just want a small hug.
As long as it keeps it to itself, I don't see
Feeling
much
that
issue with it.
alien presence enter your mind once again.
Stretch its tentacles. It's going to stretch other things.
We're still part of the party.
Oh,
So
that's right. We're good. Yes.
we're fine. Just as long as the tentacles keep to themselves, I think we're okay.
I wasn't aware you knew about the bonds.
She keeps saying party members, so I'm assuming that's probably pertinent.
And she says yes.
I
And she
do not say that, but okay.
said companions. She
Companions,
used the
sorry.
term, they are companions.
They've always been private, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are conversations.
yeah, there's a
Redacted.
flaw in the in the
Just
minutia.
redact it, redact it. That's an alternate time path.
Sorry, hang on, that was. All right, we're good.
Meanwhile, Sparks
Yes.
and Akab didn't just
You were
shoot
becoming
on
a
the
variant.
floor.
He was a variant for a moment. Let's
Yeah,
just
they-
back this up.
Oops.
Variant. What was it? Reset everything?
Yeah.
No, reset the.
Yeah, reset. Put a reset charge.
AKA disintegrate everything. Anyway, so the heat builds very fast, but for in your nice little tiny hut, it is a cool 70 degrees.
Pleasant.
Pleasant.
Dimly lit.
It's about what our clothing does. These big wool, these big fur wolf type cloaks and leggings.
They're not overly big. They're like one of those tight-fitting winter clothing. So it's not like you go into Winterland and they have massive coats on. It's actually very close and snug and fitting.
Well, even if it's extra large,
You don't
it's
see it on
really
me.
snug on me.
You don't see it on me because it's underneath my armor.
You see a little bit of fur coming out of the corners of his armor. Very stylish, actually.
Cool. Well, I guess it's dim or dark. Can you adjust the light in this thing?
Sure.
Literally, is he able to
It's
do
like a little
that?
slider on the side.
little clicky button.
It's a hologram.
Wait. No, it didn't do anything. All right, fine.
Is my RGB going?
You can change
Said
the
it's
color on
party
the outside.
mode.
Vedic will walk in, like, take off his cloak and his pack and stuff like that, just hang it in midair, and the unseen servant will come by and, like, pick it up and start brushing it out and cleaning it.
With 18 perception, passive perception,
It's only for the mansion.
It's a ritual.
every now and again he just kind of
Cost them. Draw pictures in the sand. Done. Unseen
Are you
servant.
itchy?
What?
You seem rather itchy.
Am I?
you're a little
I'm
edgy.
noticing that you've been.
You didn't really notice it.
You're acting rather nervous, like you're. There it is again. Look. Didn't you scratched right there? Just.
What? Hang on. Let's play that back. Matter image. Scroll first. Did I?
You've been scratching, yeah.
Huh. I'll be damned.
How did you play what back?
Oh, ignore that. So,
Back in the present.
All right.
little remote control.
Is it now?
The
Rewind.
Deadpool version. Wait a minute.
Was it then or now?
This is now.
We're now. Everything that's happening now is happening now.
When will then be now?
Soon.
When?
Who? All right. I'm gonna check for like sand lice and.
Roll medicine.
Oh man. I'm assuming they don't like me because I'm very metal.
Sand lice are a thing. And that's why people cover themselves head to toe in the desert. And usually don't go playing in the sand.
14.
14? You got a few. It takes a little bit as you're lifting up the scales, and there's like, after a little bit, you realize, yep, it's itching right here and right here.
Fireball.
Roll damage.
And no, I'm
Yeah, you're hitting yourself too.
Seems like a bad idea. I mean, you're immune to fire, right? Or resistant at least. No?
Nope. Not even a little bit. No, just like
There is a little crater in your arm and leg now. And there's a new type of itching. It's called dead skin cells itching, but apart from that,
fine.
they're probably dead.
Probably lay out the cloak on
Did
the
did that hurt? You took damage from that?
Oh yeah, you took damage.
Okay.
But we're about to go on a long rest, so it doesn't matter.
Alright.
How scary is it?
I don't want to lay on the ground. This bubble doesn't protect from the ground.
It doesn't.
So we're still, I don't want to lay down if those were like,
Click, click.
well,
Cloak.
good for you. They can hang up in the freaking bubble for all your...
You have a shell. Lay on your back on these like a chair. Like I do. You're welcome.
Clunk, clunk. Takes a little bit of positioning, but
Kind of locks him in.
yeah.
Alright, okay, good.
Enough ridges of the shell, yeah.
You can do just about anything with two movable rods.
Boonk.
Wait,
Just
I've
about
got
anything.
one. Floating disc.
That's just floating.
And just floating disc.
How long does those last?
Throw a little cloak on that.
It's like an hour, isn't it?
And how much can it hold?
500 pounds.
Wow.
One of you.
It can't even hold me naked.
It can't hold me either.
It can hold all of me.
Including all of your pets.
That would be what I was referring.
Oh, it doesn't last all that long, so never mind.
It's not like an hour.
It's so funny that you can't even hold any of these two right here. Not even.
But,
You can hold my armor.
alright.
about
We can see out of the bubble.
Yep.
Alright.
It is properly daytime now.
But it's dark inside.
But it's dark inside.
That's so weird.
Make a actually. Who wants to roll a d8?
Not it. Your bubble, your problem.
My bubble, my problem. I can't see it.
7.
7
No,
it is.
really?
Is that 7 or 1?
That's 7.
That's 7.
That's a
7.
good eye.
So, as the day becomes proper sunlight, and you start to see the ripples of heat off the sand, not affecting you, but definitely seeing the variations and mirages from a distance that make it as if there was water in the area that you were looking at, but definitely wasn't water there, as it refracts, and you start to see
Tracks.
mountains east and west of you.
So we're in between the mountains. How far away do I think they are?
North, south, east. I would have to say east.
But how far away?
Far, make a survival check.
You know.
East are the closer ones, as they're clearly much bigger, as far as you can tell.
Yep.
As you see, just like maybe on the horizon.
28, natural 20.
Ooh, look at you!
So we're right about here.
You don't know, as you don't have a local map. Looking off to the distance, a good maybe 700, 800 miles away for the ones that are farther.
Those are
And the
far.
ones that are closer, still a good 300 miles away.
Wait, 700 miles away? I can see that far? Wouldn't the curvature of
With
the
yeah, they are massive mountains.
You see the tops of snow peaks.
those things are really far away.
And you
Those
see
are-
with I'll say with the natural 20, just far enough of that, you see a couple of them red peaks with ash coming out.
All right, so we have a little bit of a bearing. We have that map, right? Do we have that map? The map
Yeah, you have
shows-
that.
Yeah, we have a map. It's a
So
General
let's
map.
study this map for a second. So if that's some fiery peaks in the distance, those are like really far away, maybe days and days and days and days away, 700 something miles away. And then the other peaks to the east, are how far? You said about 200 miles away?
300-400 miles, maybe.
All right. Let me take a look. That's where you think we're at?
That's just the southern peaks.
Ah. Oh my. Yes, I think that might put us down here. If those are the peaks there. You said to the east? No, this is to the east.
To the east are the ones that we're closer to. So we're basically right smack dab in the middle
To
of
the
the desert
north. To the north is the
North is up.
north. Yes, but north is where the 700 miles or so.
No,
No, not
that's
north.
300.
Okay.
300 is to the
Where
east.
I'm sorry. Which direction is the
East.
fiery peaks that are 700 miles away?
This is where my lack of compass direction is going to
the
fail
east.
me.
To the east.
Not that it's really going to change much for us to know where we are.
We're like
We're
smack dab.
still in the freaking desert.
We're smack dab in the middle of the desert of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's to the east.
But
We're
those are
right
the
back here.
fiery peaks that I'm looking at.
Yep.
Sorry, west is the one that's closer.
Ah,
Oh, so we're
there we
we're
go.
down here then.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there are peaks right at the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
Right at the very bottom.
Right about here is where we're at. Somewhere down here.
Yeah. So that's where I think we are. I would agree with that, given the fact. But still, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Congratulations, we found that we are in the middle of nowhere.
We are completely, utterly lost, and we know where we are lost in. So it's something.
You asked.
And then, continuing in the north, some distance away were those lights, but obviously we've
The
lost sight
lights
of them now.
are no longer there, as far as you can tell.
Well, yes, it's daylight, so we can't see them. Well,
Mostly because of the blinding sunlight. Yeah.
we'll go ahead and just, I don't know, you
Knock
got,
out the
you
12
got
hours?
anything to read?
In
Niquis, do you have anything to read?
Niquis is looking in the general direction where it's starting to get hazy and hazier, off in the distance.
Which direction is that?
About southeast. And you start to hear the winds start to pick up.
Hmm.
And
I mean, the ley line goes
maybe
across the whole
40
desert.
minutes go by and you start to see a sandstorm developing and moving its way over to you.
I'm glad we have Lehman's Tiny Hut. For a while.
How long does this last?
8 hours. Do you want to pop it before it comes in and make another one?
We've got, the sun is going to be up for at least 12.
Is there a spot where we can put the painting and it be safe amidst the storm? And then we just go through it and sleep in our beds?
Oh, that's an idea. That's right, we don't have to stay in the desert all the time. We just keep moving with the painting.
Yep.
What did you think outside the box? Outside the painting?
What? Me have any understanding of planar travel? Crazy. That's
I mean, you are
super out
a
of
planar-
character.
You're the planar expert.
That's a good idea.
Well, it was fine here, wasn't it?
I mean, we walked out of it and he was half buried in sand.
Could just give it to me.
And you just stand here through the storm? I'm fine with that.
It's not gonna be fun for me, but I'll be fine. Just give me a bubble. Put it in my bag of holding, I'll be fine. I'll just take it out when the night comes out.
Why would we separate ourselves?
That sounds like a really good idea.
What's more, the bubble isn't going to last the whole time.
Well, before the storm gets here, we make a new one, right?
Well, we're secure here now. The question is, how long will the storm last? But we have. Where can we put the painting other than leave it here on to float around in the desert? We have nowhere to. I mean, we can bury it, but the problem is what happens if we come. Did we find the painting buried when we came through
Yeah.
the first time?
Yes.
You went through the
It was
painting,
half
and there was a
buried.
painting on the other side for it to be the gateway.
Sure, but
And it was half buried,
it was half buried. So
Who knows how long it's
indicating
been
it
here
was
for?
most likely not here for a very long time. Because otherwise it would have been buried under who knows how much sand.
I'm concerned. What happens is if we end up having to travel through it and it's completely buried.
And that's why I said leave it in a safe place before going through it. And then he volunteered to stand and hold it.
Mm. But that actually just does nothing more than separate us at your expense.
Yeah, it's all right.
It means
The
I
sand doesn't
don't
bother
get
me.
desert lice.
I'm not gonna get Desert Light. No. It's uncomfortable, but it's not gonna kill me. It's a perfectly natural phenomenon, I assume.
Why don't we, perhaps we wait to see how long the sandstorm lasts, and if it becomes an issue, we then go into this plan and to separate. So this way you're not out here for the entire time. What the hell? That does not sound.
It's a little ominous.
Don't worry, the odds of being struck by lightning are infinitesimal.
Giant metal man.
Right, that makes our odds lower.
I have a very bad history of getting struck by lightning in campaigns.
Yes, he does.
We're also on the top of a dune.
No metal around, tallest thing in who knows how long.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Make some glass.
So, yes, it's getting rather volatile out there. I think we should just stay here as long as we can, and then we'll use you as a plan B. And
How long out did we see the storm?
Distance is hard to say because it is a sandstorm, but within a few hours it'll be on top of you.
Okay. Well, we'll wait until it's closer, and then we'll pop the bubble, make a new one.
I think you're misunderstanding. Like, I can do one of these every 8 hours.
Oh, and it can only last 8 hours.
The 8 hours is up, and then I can do a new one.
Oh boy.
Basically, if you recast it, it'll just pop the one that you did before.
Yeah, I get that, but the whole point of me throwing this down is so that we can take a long rest inside and I get all my spell slots back.
Correct.
And if we pop it early, I don't get my spell slots back.
right
That's how that works.
now,
Okay.
also, how long does it take to cast?
10 minutes.
So we'd be stuck in the sand and
Be exposed for 10 minutes.
It's not bad.
That's better than the alternative.
And
Separating
it's,
party.
It's less risky than separating everyone.
I think so too.
And
Yeah,
if she's afraid of getting lice, why don't we put her on this? Oh, that
we could let her go through real quick. Hold it, give her 10 minutes, and come back out when she's ready.
She's not that dainty.
She's not. She just doesn't like it.
So what are you doing?
We're waiting it out right now.
Okay, we're just waiting.
We're going to see if the storm.
It can't
That's
last
worse.
that long.
I'm curious what is happening to the bubble compared to the sand that we're under or on top of.
Sand's just staying in place, and everything else is getting scraped away.
Sure, that's how it works.
And I'm assuming you did it on top of one of the dunes.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay.
Well, the wind doesn't affect the sand that's in the bubble.
I know. The problem is all the sand underneath the bubble that's getting blown away.
Right. So it's slowly getting higher in the bubble. Or low in the bubble.
But the bubble stays put.
It depends on the dune.
Mm-hmm. Yes, depends on the dune. It might rise, it might not. So we have to be very careful here. Let's pay attention to where the sand is going up or down on the side of this wall of your little bubble.
Are you
Because
betting
your
down?
bubble is.
Are you watching? Betting down?
I'm watching eternally.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You can watch. Shall we bet down?
Yes.
I will make a lot of noise if we need to move. Or something will make a lot of noise. One or the other.
Remember, I have this big giant tarp that normally we could stake in stakes that we could stake down. I will lay that down so that everyone who wishes to can not even have to lay on the sand.
We can tie them between the movable rods. They're not going to go anywhere.
True.
Hammocks.
Make a hammock.
Here you are.
Niquis, would you like to sleep in a hammock?
Sure.
Quick. Opposite ends of the bubble.
Turning a makeshift hammock.
Made out of what?
The
Immovable rods.
Yes, but remember the
Stakes in the rope.
the high wind tent that I bought, which has long stakes and is basically a sheet of material, a large sheet of material like a flat tent.
Yep.
That you're supposed to be able to climb underneath, and it'll just be literally.
And you can make a hammock out of that, no problem.
Yeah. So now we're going to just tie it to the immovable rods.
Easy enough.
There we go.
Turn
Big
it
hammock.
into a hammock.
It's a little thick on the material, but it works.
And I'll just hold on to the movable rod
Okay.
in case something bad happens.
Oh,
Setting that up. It's getting closer. And it's getting closer faster than you expected. Being a little new in the desert, never really grew up in one, or at least a high desert like this, sandstorms go quickly. And it's practically already on top of you by maybe an hour most. Of having conversations on what to do, setting up a hammock, yada yada, and bedding down. As the wind hits and the sand starts to deflect off the dome of your tiny hut,
Sounds like a sand blaster.
who would like to roll a D2?
I'm on it.
dun, dun, dun. That's.
Let's
I
go
don't-
odds evens.
Never tell me the
Okay,
odds.
odds, evens.
1, 2.
And
Odds,
what,
evens.
hold on, odds are what?
Odd, even.
I'll keep it in my
1 and
head.
2.
Yeah, odds are even.
Odds are ones.
That's even.
Even?
2.
Okay. So, as the storm progresses, you begin to start your long rest with the internal watch going. The dune doesn't seem to be falling, but the corners of it are quickly starting to get taken over. And sand seems to be being piled on and up.
On top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
It's not going to take it over, but the dune that you're on seems to be growing versus shrinking.
It's moving onto us, kind of thing.
The bubble stays static, and so the sand is just building up around it.
Okay, that makes it easier, I suppose.
And it disappears at the end of the long rest.
So as that time approaches,
Mm-hmm.
take out, pull out, feet of rope, measure out 10 feet of rope, tie it to myself, walk over Sparks, tie it around his ankle, and I'm going to use him as the stake to draw the next circle.
Okay.
Immovable rod. Foot in the ground, holding the immovable rod.
Because the storm is still going.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But
And-
so the thing bubbles and he's just drawing a big circle in the sand with it.
Well, remember, I could also stake down.
Are you doing it before the bubble pops?
That's up to you whether I can start a ritual before it
I
pops.
think you can.
Okay.
Because you can start a new ritual anytime you do. It's just when you cast it, the old one disappears and the new one goes up.
Okay.
So,
Groovy.
I don't see any problems with it.
Yeah, that's a
However,
good question. I would wonder, the moment you start the ritual, does that kill the other one?
Well, you're technically just writing symbols down. You're not actually casting anything.
Okay.
You're just building stuff.
as soon as it activates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that
Is how
last
I
piece.
interpret it. But
There you go.
funny thing is, so at the end of your casting, the sand that was originally on the dome gets ejected as the new one goes up. Kind of making a small crater of where you are before it starts to fill in again by the sandstorm. Little sand on you as you just kind of wiggle it off.
Alright, we're good for another 8 hours.
Sweet.
All right. And I imagine we won't keep it on that long. We'll wait till the sun sets and then go, right?
So the storm should be over by then.
I would
You
hope.
hope?
How long do storms last in the desert?
How long do storms last in the day in on land or in the ocean? They last as long as they will. It could be.
I mean, the eternal monsoon.
Yes. So
It continues for another hour after the 8 hours rest. 2 hours, 3.5, and it starts to die down. And at the end of the 4, it starts to become just normal daylight. Granted, at the end of the day, because it's been 12 hours, but still,
That would have sucked.
right.
That would have sucked.
So we need to wait until midnight before we should go anywhere, or we should look for these colored, floating, dancing lights again as soon as we can see them. I assume.
Probably best as soon as we can see them. Because we can see them 4 hours afterwards.
So let's keep our eye out as the sun goes down and start looking for these lights that your patron has told you to look for?
Stares blankly at you.
She's a tough book. Insight check.
Roll an insight. Roll a... I mean, you didn't really lie or anything.
I
Roll charisma?
performance maybe for
Performance?
non-reaction. I
Sure,
guess?
yeah, we'll do that. It's a charisma-based thing.
That doesn't apply. So standard performance. I'm going to re-roll that.
Can.
God, it sucks.
That's a 23.
23. Eck, what is your deep wisdom insight of this
12.
otherworldly world?
12. Go ahead. Tell me.
She is cold as ice and hard to read.
Stoic.
Which you're on your summer or fall form, something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah,
Summer.
summer. Okay.
Well, all right. I have no idea. You know, I would really feel more comfortable. I think we all would feel more comfortable if we knew exactly. We're following you in good faith. You know that.
I don't understand what your question is.
If you were traveling somewhere with others and we didn't know how,
As has happened this entire time.
yeah,
What is it you want to know?
I'd like to know so that who you're communicating with, what we should be, why, what you expect when we find what we're supposed to find.
I expect to find a person in a ruin. I've given you all of the details I was given.
Oh, very good. All right.
And you, of all people, it's interesting for you to question my motives.
It's not questioning our motives.
You lied to everyone your entire existence, and you're questioning me.
It's not like I was doing it to be deceitful.
I have yet to lie
anyone.
to you. Why would you question me?
No, I'm not saying that you're lying to any of us. What it is that we have so little information. I was hoping that we would have some greater understanding of what we're attempting to obtain here.
To meet a person in the ruins. That's it.
All right? You have no idea what this person is going to
No.
do or say or
No.
You don't know if they're a friend or a foe?
Correct.
Then that is helpful. Because if you don't know if they're a friend or foe, then we can be armed with that knowledge. If they are a friend, then we can be armed with that knowledge. But now you don't know, so we don't know either. We'll take that appropriately.
You've gained no additional knowledge and you have frustrated me.
You feel a pulse again.
Is the storm still happening?
It has died down. The storm has gone and passed.
Okay. I'm gonna step outside the bubble.
Okay.
And I'm going to take my cloak of many fashions and kind of wrap it around me and...
Everyone, you know the drill.
Ladies and gentlemen, please exit the table if you are not part of this conversation.
AKA, piss off!
If I get English correctly.
highly overrated.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Rabble, rabble, rabble. And it is closed. Taking out this small communication gem that has always felt like a one-way pathway of you giving information to them but never speaking back to you, finally chiming back within a somewhat timely manner. You're expecting
Aranat.
Aranat. And with that, your mind immediately hits almost like a mental front wall as you hear the bone-chilling voice of Lord Bitterfrost.
Okay.
Come on, music. Niquis Nacoris. Follow the dancing lights and find the heart of the corpse tree. Find all you can of the dormant one.
You're going way faster than I write.
Very well.
Follow the dancing lights.
Dancing lights in the sky and find the heart of the corpse tree.
And find the heart. Did you say the corpse tree?
The corpse tree.
Gross. Okay.
Find all you can of the dormant one.
That's ominous.
Perform adequately, and you will be rewarded. Do not practice my patience further. Our nut shall be held until your proper inquiry.
I can spell. Do not practice my patience further. Aranat will be held.
Until your prompt inquiry is what I meant to say, not your proper inquiry.
Why is he being held?
Unwanted ears are not dealt with in kind.
Define adequate performance.
No answer.
Okay.
The line ends.
Back in.
Thank you for your sportsmanship.
That's okay. We are good. Yeah. Yep. And I just have to make sure I don't watch this.
Just mute it every time. It's okay. The sound will be fine. Damn it, he's oh,
I was just editing.
son of a bitch is what I'm gonna hear.
Yeah. All right.
So the storm is broken.
The storm is broken. It's about to hit nightfall in about an hour or two. This heat has not broken, as it is a desert, but your clothing, provided by Eck and a bunch of gold, provided a solution to that.
So let's just wait and see if the lights show up again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I pop back in the bubble.
You pop back into the bubble.
Remind me again, I do owe you some coin for the clothing, don't I?
I don't know. Probably. I'm a money dispenser. I have no idea. I've got 300 platinum and 500 gold. You're good. We're not going to worry about it.
Don't really buy anything. Do you?
Just that airship that one time.
Thank you very much, Niquis.
Right? See how that worked out?
Just an airship at one time, just driving us up to a week ahead of schedule in Hartkern.
If they ever perform a background check on your previous owned airships,
Whoops. Crash. Big airship.
Do you understand the meaning of
Combat.
the word subtle? Any competent insurance auditor would say no.
Anything subtle? No, we don't.
That's right.
so unless you want to do anything else before nightfall comes in, it becomes nightfall.
Does the smoke of your pipe stay inside this bubble?
I don't think so.
Can you make it semi-porous?
Sure, I can make it. Yeah, sure. There's an itty bitty little hole in the top.
I still like to say that it's still just enough to keep it like a good
That's right.
float. And the funny thing is, you're the shortest one here, so you're just
Like,
laughing.
I'm walking around. What are you guys doing? The smoke hazes.
Where are the lights? They said there are lights to the exit. All right.
It becomes nightfall.
So much feet. Just keep fighting, you're fine.
And with your passive perceptions of Ek and Niquis, about an hour into the night, as the sun disappears and completely passes, it is clear as day. With a passive perception of 18 and 16, you're able to see the auroran light sky that is these ley lines that flow forth in blues, purples, and a little bit of orange towards the northeast area.
Mine's 15, but I was also actively looking, so.
Make a perception check. See if you get more information on pop for that from traveling a little bit.
Going to re-roll that.
Okay.
What?
It's sorcerers, all right?
Yeah, she has to use points for doing that, I imagine.
Yeah.
Wizards can look
23.
can get a ridiculous amount of spells. She can just bullshit her way out through anything or into anything too.
23?
23.
23. With your naked eye, which is impressive by itself because stuff like that. Looking off into the distance, seeing again that your dark vision has indeed increased. Not by much, but a little bit. And you see that interruption? Not hard to say, but you see where it almost like a collection, dare I say a node, off in the distance. Far, far into the distance. It'll take quite a bit of time to travel. And with a 23 passive perception,
Or 23, yeah.
the passive, active
only.
perception, if only. And you look off to the horizon a little bit, just kind of scanning, and you see light, flickering light. A few miles away, but definitely behind a dune.
So, there's light flickering there, there's a disruption there, there's the ley lines there. What path makes the most sense for dancing lights? Because at this point, a man's life hangs in the balance. And we need to go.
Oh my.
That's a little different.
Alright. We need to find this man in the desert, apparently.
Which way is closer?
Well, following the ley line would be the most immediate, but it's the windy. And then we've got the two in the distance.
But distance-wise, you have no idea if it's like a day's journey or a day-plus journey kind of situation.
Well, we're going to pass both of those on the way, right? Do we know exactly where this person is?
Well, it was in the
He
ruins.
is not who we're finding.
Oh.
He is just someone whose life depends on what we do.
Right.
Ah.
Well, the lights in the distance, on the ley lines apparently seem to be what we need to follow. Correct? And the lights in the distance, if we are headed that direction by convenience, great. If not, we need to... I mean, why would we go to the lights when it seems we need to find this...
Because all of it's a guess. We do not know what is the most immediate.
Well, then
Do it all.
Then the guess is to choose the ley lines.
I just see Sparks with a multiple choice test. It's like, I don't know which one. No, just
All the above.
All the above. All the above.
When in doubt, do it all. If it's worth doing, it's worth
I
overdoing.
say fall back on the clues. You said you have the words about following these dancing lights.
It's worth doing, it's worth
We don't-
overdoing.
Unless those other lights are considered dancing.
It's overspoken words of the Fae, but then let's just make a decision, and
Follow the
I
lights.
start taking off after the ley lines.
Okay. Following the ley lines, it is the sky, so the ley lines is big to say the least. It is a little river of mana and arcane energies folding over itself and colliding, and seemingly being guided by lore that I will not say here before I say more. Anyway, I know. You were looking into me. It's like, come on, yes, come on.
Spill them guts.
Yeah, spill them guts. Nope. Nope. You get another day of travel. As you're traveling, who wants to roll a d8?
Who hasn't rolled one yet?
Heck.
Hand in the bowl.
A 1.
A 1. I want you to roll a d20.
I don't like it when you make us roll twice.
Ouch. 7.
Poetic.
Fuck.
Leading the charge, Niquis.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a decent passive perception. Are you looking... actually, being a navigator, roll a perception check. See what you gather on in terms of information that are standing outside normal sands, dunes, sand, dunes, sand, dunes.
That's 17 plus perception. 22.
22. As you continue on, feeling... Dare I say... like... sturdier. Not sure about that, but it's there. You hear a slight, almost like... in the distance. This one sounding a little familiar. And you listen again, and you hear it.
I sigh heavily and head that direction.
Taking a few steps way past the flickering light of what most likely was a campfire. Looking off into the distance, you don't hear it, but the sound. You haven't made eye contact yet, or seen what is making this sound, but it sounds familiar.
Like this plane familiar, home plane familiar.
Home plane familiar.
I
What is it?
would like to psychically nudge Plant Buddy and... Do you
Yes.
sense anything of the Fae hereabouts?
He ponders for a moment. I say, I do not know much about the Fae. Yes, I haven't spent much time of it. But there is a few things over there. They have a lot of arms. Don't know what they are.
Do they feel like they're made of despair?
I haven't tried touching them. They would have learned them to my presence, though.
Oh, I have a feeling that they're coming for us. Gentlemen, it is quite likely that we are about to have a very unpleasant encounter.
Shield, sword.
Of what kind? Do you have any clue?
Fae.
Okay, alright. Well, I mean, you mean mean, they're probably not undead, so I will not use my blood oath. So
I sigh heavily and continue forward, but, spells at the ready, etc.
Fortune's favor.
well, thank you.
Patterns start to show, and you have advantage on your next initiative or roll, and he'll tell you on the fortune favors.
Now I already have advantage on initiative anyway. That's my native ability.
Yep. Well, fortune favor gets you more stuff. He'll tell you what
Okay.
it is in a moment. But still leading the charge, Niquis. With your friend on the ready, you hear floop as something goes into your pocket. Seeing
Basically,
Charles.
it gives you a free luck point.
Okay. So I
the
can choose to reroll.
wailing and moans get a little louder. Almost as if like a gasping, sorrowful wail. Just deep sadness, unlike any other.
Does it sound like the things that I make?
It sounds very familiar.
Wonderful.
Which is interesting by itself, because they usually don't spill into the material plane very easily.
What's so wonderful?
You hear a
It's not out loud.
Oh, it's no, it's not.
movement off to left and right of you. Something within the shadows, moving in within it. Seeing past perception, the actual shadow itself move across the floor.
What the fuck?
Another one.
Back to back, everyone back to back.
They're entities of pure emotion.
What do we do about it?
Kill them.
How?
The
Hit
shadow
hard.
moves up
Noted.
towards.
Mirror image.
Let's roll a d4, actually. 4! Spores, funny enough. As one of these shadows and joins your shadow itself.
Oh, so I gotta fight with my shadow.
Now,
As the shadow starts to move
we're in the
up.
dark though, right? So
Yes. But yet, a darker shadow seems
Moonlight,
to...
starlight, cast shadows.
Yeah, and there's the moon and everything.
Yep.
So
I
there's
attack the darkness.
a little bit of light.
Yep.
But before you do that, as you're just like trying to assess the situation, the actual shadow lifts up itself as a humanoid body, elongated, with what looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arms, kind of just plastered all over its body, jet out into these long spikes as this elongated face, and as it slowly stands up from the shadow itself, a normal ability that is not known to it, known and knowing them as the Lost, and just looks at you with these deep sunken eyes where you think there would be points of light but are just infinite darkness. Long face, and immediately tries to grab you. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Woo!
As shadows start to move all around it.
All right.
Since I walked up prepared, is there any, like...
Yeah. With that high perception check, no.
Cool.
Clear the table, by the way.
Oh.
No.
Oh shit! You
Yeah, I have to get up.
can see my advantage roll.
Yikes. That's a 2 and a 3.
No. You want to burn that? You want to burn that point now?
Not for initiative.
Well, I guess I'm
save
going
that
first.
sucker for something else.
Beep, beep.
How long does that last?
An hour.
Okay.
This is my
Whoa.
attempt.
Beep the fucking beep. Wow.
Yeah, this. No, David, stop it.
Wow! Look at that.
I know you mean well, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I got it balanced.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So that is my attempt in making what I had into dunes.
Looks like Beggar's Canyon back home.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
go and place yourself on either dune.
Love that. All right.
I guess we'll be over here. Let's do
We are all together, right? So,
roughly.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Please.
Where do you want to be?
We'd be in the back relatively because she was in the front typically because she's.
She's our guide.
Yeah.
Well, which way is front? Which way are we going?
We're obviously
We are
going
now
across the map.
establishing.
You can decide which way is north. You're following. Okay.
That was north. So we need to go down and go across it, roughly.
Okay.
No, that's the hungry. That's
Hungry.
angry.
Very
the
fey
no,
names.
that's lonely. And here's the lost. There we go.
Very fey names. The hungry, the lost, the lonely,
Oh, wait until you meet the ones that I made.
the darkness. Hello, darkness,
So-
my old friend. Copyright.
As 5 of these entities pop up from the actual shadow itself. Some of them coming out of the shadows completely. One of them in front of you doing that. So others kind of just almost as if they're kind of lifting their bodies out as if they're swimming in the shadow itself and then going back inside. We're going to take a small break here
Oh, you son of a bitch.
because I need to get the proper miniatures out
Yep.
and I don't have them at the ready
That's all
because
right.
I'm a noob, apparently.
Cliffhanger!
So, come back for the fight against the lost, not the lonely.
I don't want to fight a lonely yet.
And we'll see you next time. But until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep on rolling, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.